Hey, what's going on there, YouTube? This is SEL0320 representing JVS. I'm here with the famous Joe Johnson 030. Yeah. And we represent JVS. This is our first reaction of The Walking Dead, episode 10 of season 6, The Next World. This is a non-spoiler, so you don't have to worry about any kind of spoilers. What do we think about this episode, Joe?
It was a very fun episode.
It was
a fun episode from much different tone from the previous episode of like
totally
different,
kind
of crazy over the top head, screaming just craziness.
Yeah.
This episode is still crazy, but has a more fun tone to it.
Yeah. So let's see. Off the gate for me, Daryl and Rick going out and doing whatever they're trying to do. I thought that interaction was really funny and it was really essential, I think, for their humanity's sake. I think they needed to have that. Even like Carl, because this is a time jump. This has been a little bit further along in time. And as far as the time jump, I really liked it because Carl had a little bit more time to be able to show us where his mentality at. Is like, is he changed? Is he altered as a man? And it's a lot of differences between how he was before and how he is now. But it's just weird because I feel like the whole group, they become more of a unit. Does that make sense? Like the whole entire group, like them working together. Like I saw like Eugene working and talking with Rick and Daryl, and that would never happen. Daryl going off and doing like this side mission where he never would do that because he'd be kind of out there hunting on his own. It's just, their interactions were really well placed, I think. It's really fun, like you said. What was one of the things that you thought was really interesting about this episode? Aside from the ending, which we'll kind of talk about.
All around it's a good episode. I'll go into specifics. You definitely want to, you want to watch this episode. Just being a fan, if you consider yourself even one of a somewhat fan, you definitely want to watch this episode.
Yeah.
I guess it's like
I'm a huge shipper of something, and it actually went down for it. Oh, and by the way, there's a new person that's involved in this episode by the name of Paul Monroe. I'm not gonna give you his code name, but if you know from the comics, this dude he's on point in a lot of different ways, and he added a different flair to it. He kind of reminded me of Glenn. It's really surprising that I didn't see Glenn at all this episode. I saw Maggie, I didn't see Glenn. I thought that was really weird. Like, where's Glenn doing? But as far as the way his tactfulness, like, he reminded me of Glenn in a lot of different ways, and as well as in the comics. But the end, I think, the end was what tipped it over for me. Like, if you look at my reaction, that's the time where I really reacted the most. But I thought it was a pretty good episode. It wasn't as good as the last episode. I can definitely tell you that.
Oh, speaking of which, Carl, everybody wants to know what happens to Carl. And how he's taking this, one eye thing. So you get to see like his interaction. He's up and about in this episode, and you get to see his interaction with different circumstances. Quite interesting. I don't know exactly where his head is. You know what I'm saying? He seems for the most part stable, but he still has this kind of like thing he's not dealt with yet. Yeah. So we'll see where that goes.
Yeah. For me, I give this 8 out of 10. I don't think it was a really bad episode. I thought it was a fun one. It was a really switch in tone. But what do you give as far as rating? So we can go ahead and just spoiler review.
Man, I have to give this episode a 9, bro.
It was just because of the ending.
No, overall, bro, it was a good episode, and like I like how they
switched it up. So you like the switch, okay? Yeah. Well, we about to go into the spoilers real soon. Keep it locked, JVS. We ain't gonna stop. Hopefully y'all liked our first reaction. If you wanted to check out a spoiler review, wait for that. It'll be up pretty soon tonight. And tonight we're also gonna be doing a live stream with Daryl and potentially Jeremy, the gamer 2323. So stay tuned, JVS. We ain't gonna stop, y'all. Peace. Dang, Joe, get off your phone.